I must admit, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the flat earther CC Chris from New York, Westchester County. We started our journey with Chris way back in 2018 when he was claiming that the external fuel tank for the space shuttle was nothing more than an inflatable blimp. Have a look at this.
And he discussed how possibly the middle rocket, that's the orange rocket, is actually filled with helium. And these things are like bouncy houses.
Well, since then, we have revisited Westchester County many, many times. And each time we come back that little more enlightened. And today is no different, as this time Chris wants to tell us all about the moon. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a massive thank you to the sponsors of today's video, TubeBuddy. Now, if you make any sort of content on YouTube, then TubeBuddy is something that you should absolutely be using. Now, I certainly do, and the benefits really do make a difference. Now, first off, and most importantly for me, is the video tags tool. You can analyse the tags being used on higher performing videos and then copy them and incorporate them into your video before adding any other specific tags that make your video unique. To find that tool, you just open up a video and look to the right of your screen. You can then show the search rankings, and if the video is showing on the first page of YouTube search results, it will tell you where in green. Obviously, the more tags you have in search results, the better. Also, I love using the keyword explorer because I can identify top searches related to my content, and you can discover trending keywords to help you get more views. To find that, you just click on the TubeBuddy icon to the right of the search bar and put in any keyword you like. TubeBuddy will then give you an overall score for that keyword, incorporating things such as search volume, competition, and optimization strength. And a graph will give you a quick analysis of how your video will rank amongst others. To get help with your YouTube content creation, then click the link in the description and you can use my code SIMONBuddy20 to get 20% off. Right, back to today's video, which, as I said earlier, is another visit to CC in Westchester County. Today he wants to talk about the moon, and this one, I'm telling you, is a classic. Get ready.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 6/28, 2023. Above me, I was just fooling around with my camera on Sunday, or past Sunday. And see, I have a problem with it. See, my problem is the day moon shouldn't be able to see it.
And where would you get that notion from, Chris? The day moon, which is sometimes not a day moon for some people on the planet, is illuminated by the sun. So why wouldn't you see it?
See, it doesn't make any sense at all to me, because first off, one, the day moon should have black in the background, not blue.
No, it shouldn't, because space is black and our atmosphere is in between us and space, isn't it? And our atmosphere is the reason that the sky is blue. Another example there of how flat earthers can't think in 3D.
Because you know what that means. Do you have any idea what that means? By seeing the day moon and there being blue in the background means that this is either on the firmament or inside of the firmament.
And the fact you're still calling it the background still shows you don't understand it. The atmosphere is the reason our sky is blue through Rayleigh scattering. The moon is much further away than our atmosphere, isn't it? So obviously the sky is blue, and anything big enough and bright enough to be seen during the daytime is beyond our atmosphere, which, let's remember, is blue.
I'm not really sure which one it is. It could be. I've always said it's a projection, just as the sun is.
Yes, a projection that can burn our skin. Of course, CC, of course.
But all I know is when we have a solar eclipse of the sun, whatever is covering the sun at the time certainly is not a three-dimensional object. It's a two-dimensional object.
And your evidence for this is?
If that. We're not really sure what it is. It could be eclipsing itself, a lot of people say, and I'm probably going to lean toward that.
Do you understand what you just said there?
It could be eclipsing itself.
Dear oh dear, Cece, what a statement.
But this day moon is a perfect example of that we live on a flat plane covered with a dome.
The moon on its own in no way proves that the Earth is flat. Nothing proves that the Earth is flat, so that one is a huge stretch.
Okay, it's as simple as that. All right? The sun and the moon have absolutely nothing to do with each other. One isn't reflecting off of another one.
Except it is. Now here is a graph showing the spectra of moonlight versus sunlight. And you'll see that there are exact same absorption lines indicating the exact same chemical makeup.
They project their own light. All right? It's just how it is. So enjoy the video above me. I was just fooling around with the camera. I know it's out of focus. It's in focus sometimes. It's out of focus. Who cares? It's just fun fooling around with the camera. I had a little time on my hand. I don't often get that at all. So anyway, enjoy it. But let me ask you a question. Why isn't there a black backdrop with the moon during the daytime? It's impossible.
Well, I've already answered that, Cece, and I don't think even if you're standing here right in front of me, you'd accept that.
Impossible. Just like your ball is impossible. Look at it. Look how perfect everything is outside. You know, you don't have to go to Hawaii to see how perfect everything is. How picturesque it is. Just go out to the beach. Just go out in the woods. Look how perfect everything is.
Yes. Look how perfect everything is. Now, of course, I know that those images are still beautiful. They're just not perfect in the truest sense of the word.
In this chaotic science that they have told you that you're moving at these unimaginable speeds, when meanwhile you could take a picture of a very still lake, with a reflection reflecting all the way across to the other side.
Actually, the Earth's rotation has been known to cause currents in some large lakes.
You could have a sun come down in the ocean and leave these spectacular rays shooting across the ocean. Impossible. Only possible on a flat Earth.
How is that possible? What about a spherical Earth means that you can't have rays of sun streaming across water? Nothing. Nothing at all.
All of this is only possible on a flat Earth. On a flat, level, stationary Earth. Not moving through space, not being terrified by meteors, not being terrified by UFOs and all sorts of stupid that they make up.
I'm not terrified by meteors or UFOs, and I don't think many other people are either.
You gotta relax. You gotta think back to your childhood when we all believed in the ball. When we were told that we live on a spinning wet ball. And you agree.
And I still agree, as do 99.9% of all the other people on this earth.
You were a child. Don't continue being a child. Look at the perspective that you have of everything that's out there on this flat plane. The wind.
What's that got to do with it?
You know, the wind itself, as far as I'm concerned, is impossible on a ball Earth. I can't even imagine it. All right? It doesn't make any sense.
I think that this is the most common thing muttered by a flat earther. It doesn't make any sense. Air is heated by the sun and becomes warm. That warm air then expands and rises, allowing the cooler air next to it to rush in and take its place. That process is wind. It's not hard to see how that happens.
The ball doesn't make any sense. It's a joke. We were all told when we were kids that we lived in this terrifying world, spinning world and hurling through space. Any moment we can die like that. that a meteor is going to come down and kill us all. And we have to rely on NASA to save us.
Now, as usual, there are many, many, many more space agencies than just NASA. And I think if that scenario did happen, all the space agencies on Earth would unite. CC is a classic US is the centre of the world type of flat earther. And for now, we're going to leave him not making much sense of anything and say we are done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Poor old CC. Although I do think if we sat him down and actually tried to educate him, he would be for turning. Thank you so much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. We've just passed the 485,000 subscriber mark, only 15,000 to go. So if the feeling takes you and you enjoyed today's video, please do subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you liked it, hit that like button too. Just enough time to once again thank TubeBuddy for sponsoring today's video. Remember, to get help with your YouTube content creation, click the link in the description and use my code SciManBuddy20 to get that 20% off. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday for the return of Howard George Stirrup. See you then.